Today we are speaking with Evelyn, the owner of Birch Iron, a one-of-a-kind fitness space built of all body types and rooted in inclusivity. We had the pleasure of creating custom clear acrylic signs on metal standoffs for the gym, including a thoughtfully designed club rules sign. Let's hear Evelyn's story and learn how intention, design, and inclusivity come together in this unique space. So, hi Evelyn, it's so great to have you here. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and what inspired you to create Birch Iron?
Hi, Valentine. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, as you said, my name is Evelyn. My pronouns are she, her. And I was really inspired to create a unique and inclusive fitness space. I started in the fitness industry in 2003, and I had worked in some really big box gyms I was managing. And after I had my child, who's now 11 years old, I wanted to go back to work, and I loved my clients, but I didn't want to go back to the space I was in, and I couldn't quite figure out why. And when I really thought about it, I didn't want to, for the rest of my life, try to convince people that they needed to exist in a smaller body or that they needed to present their body in a particular way in order to feel really valid and to take care of themselves. I wanted a space where people could be themselves and where they could move in a way that felt sustainable and where they felt like exercise was not punishment, but exercise was a way to take care of themselves and to feel strong and balanced. And that's where Birch and Iron was born. I was looking for a space to create that would include all types of bodies, as you mentioned. So fat bodies, disabled folks could be welcome and use all of the equipment. I wanted a space where folks in the LGBTQ community could feel affirmed and taken care of, and where Black and Indigenous folks, people of color, could know that they weren't an afterthought, that they were really at the forefront of what we were doing. And so that's where we created Birch Iron Fitness.
That sounds so good, even I want to visit it now. It's truly one of a kind. How would you describe your gym to someone visiting for the first time?
Yes. Um, so I would definitely describe Birch and Iron Fitness as an affirming, inclusive, and welcoming space. It's really a community gym. So when folks walk in, uh, folks know each other. We wave, we say hi, we share equipment, and we don't really have a lot of screens. The focus is really on being in the present, in your own body, checking in with yourself. What do you need that day? Just existing with others in a space that feels really warm and inviting and is a safe place to be.
Thank you. You already told us how it is important to you. And could you tell us a little bit how do you help members to feel supported and welcome for the first moment they enter the gym?
Yeah, I think that was really important to us that from the moment folks step in, that they saw that they were in a place that was a little bit different. Everything that we do is with intention. And so it's really clear from the choices that we make in terms of what equipment we purchase, how we lay out the floor. As I mentioned, like disabled folks and wheelchair users can come in, and there's just accessibility built into the space from top to bottom, from entry to exit. And just it's all the little details that really speak to people in terms of from the design to, like I said, the equipment choices to the staff and how we're really, just framing a space that where people know someone's already thought about me before they even start using the equipment.
And speaking of those little details, you worked with us on a custom clear acrylic signage with metal standoffs for your gym. What role did these signs play in shaping the overall feel of the space, and what was important for you when choosing the design and materials for the signage in your gym?
Yes. So it was really important for us that everything be accessible. So having a sign that was ADA accessible was really important, not just like something that was kind of check the boxes of, oh, this is good enough. We wanted something where folks with disabilities, folks all are, kind of target demographics, right? People who've been underserved in the fitness community could know that when they saw the signs that we had already thought about them, and it was incorporated into the design. It wasn't like an afterthought. It was part of the overall aesthetic, unique, kind of clean, modern, really that there was care and intention in all of the choices that we made with those details. And when we saw Bsign, the acrylic signs, it was like, "Ah, this is it. This is amazing." I postmarked it like before we even started construction, and yeah, and reached out to your team, and we were really able to collaborate, and it was just an amazing process.
And how did you feel when you saw the finished signs installed in space?
Oh my goodness, it's yeah, it was just really incredible. Do you want to go look at the signs while we're
Oh, that
talking
would be
about it?
great.
Yeah, let me show you. So we've got a couple of them. So we have right here.
Oh, really looks amazing.
Yeah, so you can see, so we have an all gender restroom. And even before we had clients who had sight disabilities, we've got a couple of blind folks who come to the gym. Even before we had the signs, even before we had those clients, we had the signs. And so we're like, the space was ready for them. And we didn't have to make any changes after the fact. We already knew like exactly the clients we were knowing we wanted to make sure that we had accommodations for before they even signed up for the gym. And so, and then same thing, the all gender restroom, we were able to kind of customize this one. It was just so exciting to be able to really specify how we wanted the design to look. So we didn't have anything that had like gender markers, anything. We weren't telling people how they needed to be in order to come into our space. It's just already inclusive and people can self identify, and it just really reflects in the signage, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it really is. By the way, one of the signs was dedicated to the gym rules. Can you please show us it as well?
Absolutely.
And maybe tell us a little bit why was it important for you to communicate these guidelines clearly and thoughtfully?
Yes. So right over here,
Oh,
a little bit more here. Yeah. So you can see we've got the community guidelines, and this was really special to us. So we had a group of folks about 2 years ago kind of get together and just collectively think about what do we want this space to be? How do we want folks to know what this space is gonna look like and what it represents? And so we put together as a group these community guidelines, and it's just speaking like about from our community to everyone who walks into the space, what we value, what our guidelines are, what the expectations are for behavior, and who belongs. And really, it's an inclusive space that is for all bodies, and we want that to be represented in our guidelines. And so when folks walk in and see this, it really cements the values that we have so people know from the beginning that it's not like an afterthought. We didn't just scribble something on paper. It's not something that is something that comes and goes in passing. It's really, uh, permanent, and we can adjust it, but it's really like the fact that we've really enshrined it on the wall. It speaks volumes to the people who walk in. We've literally had people who come in. They've never visited our gym. They don't know anything about us. They walk in and they see our custom community guidelines sign, and they literally are like, where can I sign up and how do I do this? Without speaking to anybody at the gym. There's no sales involved. It's literally they just see who we are and what we stand for, and it's posted right here for everyone to see. And again, it's so beautiful and clear, and it quite literally stands out, but it's part of the space. It fits in perfectly with the aesthetic. So people know that these values are built into the established space. It's not separate from.
and how have your members responded to the signage overall, especially to this one? Because I've read these rules, and for example, I feel myself welcomed in your gym. What about your members?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think, unapologetically believe that all people are valid, deserving of dignity and respect, especially with regard to underserved populations. It just lets people know that this is not another gym where young, kind of strong people get to take over and are entitled to everything. It's really clear that this is a shared space, it's a community space, and that we are just being mindful of everyone who comes in here and honoring everyone's value inherently as a human being. And it's so refreshing for folks to see that. That's probably the thing that we hear the most, that it's really refreshing and it feels really welcoming.
Your space is really, really unique. And what advice would you give to other gym owners who want to create more inclusive and welcoming fitness space?
I love that question. So I would say for anyone who wants to create a more inclusive and affirming space is to really specifically identify the person or the people that you want to feel welcome in your space and imagine in as specific detail as possible one or two things that you can do that are actionable and do them.
Thank you so much for your time and for this interview and for your advices. We really wish you and your gym prosperity, and just so more people can hear about you and feel themselves welcome in your space. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Valentine, and thank you to Bsign as well.